Hey Sagittarius. Sagittarius, this is your cosmic weather forecast, Venus in Scorpio edition, which means for me that we're talking about sex. I was inspired to talk about sex because I was really just feeling this Venus in Scorpio immersive, deep, intimate vibe and an exploration of true desire, even if we had previously deemed it to be taboo. And I may have decided for myself that it was not it's not something I was going to do, talking about sex very much on this channel or on my YouTube feed, or excuse me, Instagram feed. But I changed my mind. It's not too taboo for me to discuss this, so here we are. I hope you'll check out the first video I did this week that is just kind of covering in more detail how I was moved to talk about this and some more about some concepts regarding sacred sexuality, sacred consent, sacred pleasure, sacred orgasm, as well as touching briefly on the manifestation powers of orgasm and pleasure. What did I write down for you, Sagittarius? First of all, those of you who are having a birthday this week, happy birthday. Someone that I love was born on December 7th. Happy birthday to that person. And I have other loved ones, cousins whose birthdays are today. Happy birthday to Victoria and to Andrew. And I just love Sagittarius. Sagittarius is super fun. Roxana just had a birthday. Happy birthday to you. I'm so excited that you are all here on this planet, and I have so much fun with the Sagittarius energy. So thank you very much. Deborah, I can't remember when your birthday is. Have you had your birthday yet? That's another fun Sagittarius. Okay, Sag. Is your partner out of town or somehow indisposed, like super busy at work? I was getting that someone's partner literally needs to physically be somewhere else. I thought maybe it was in like another city or state. And then I was also getting that like they're there, but they're not there. And then that this is just a really busy time for them. And there's part of you that's telling yourself like, oh my God, like, be patient. This is their busy season. I want them to be successful. This is important to them. I want to be a supportive partner. But also like life sucks right now. I have like hardly anyone to play with, and you're my person. And what are we going to do about this? Like, how are we going to make sure to have some fun? I had some ideas about this. I was thinking it could be entertaining for you and or them to engage in a word play as foreplay thing through text messages. The secret sauce to your satisfying meal at the end of this week is your authenticity and willing to express from a place of vulnerability. Every time you make the effort to do this right, to heal yourself, this trauma, break this cycle, the angels and ancestors cheer your name. Sounds like the angels and the ancestors really want you to feel comfortable expressing to the people who are important to you what you're feeling and what you're going through and what your needs are. And they're giving you permission. They're giving you consent. Not that you've asked, but you might want to try asking. You might want to try asking just because then you'll kind of feel like you're getting the answer because you've asked the question, not because like you have to. I hope that makes sense. So asking the question of the ancestors, your guides, angels, God, goddess, great spirit, asking, is it okay for me to ask for what I need? Is it okay for me to put myself first when my needs aren't being met? And the answer here is yes, you have permission and consent to take care of yourself and to be honest. And in fact, it will help your loved ones, because that resentment that builds that then comes out of Sagittarius sometimes in a very sharp and painful way that feels like really, oof, like y'all can really have a sharp tongue and bring someone down if you want to. Cut someone down with that sharp tongue. So here we have the invitation again. Let's go over this. Willingness to express from a place of vulnerability. Every time you make the effort to do this right. I shy away from saying things like doing it right or doing it correctly. But there is like an important thing to notice here. Because my experience with some Sagittarius is like, oh no, I'm always honest about what I feel. I say whatever I think. Well, there may be a lack of a filter in some ways for some of the things that you communicate to other people, and some of you do definitely have a tendency to be very blunt and seemingly not so afraid to hurt other people's feelings. But that doesn't mean that you're really expressing from a vulnerable place. I think you know what I'm talking about. I'm just going to leave it there. Some of the players in your life right now may be Gemini, Virgo, Pisces, Cancer, Aries, Leo, Libra. There's a lot because there's just a lot happening in Sagittarius. So let me tell you a little bit more about what's going on in your sign this week. The moon is moving through Libra right now, picking up on Libra's energy, then passing over Libra's ruler Venus, Libra and Taurus's ruler Venus, who's in Scorpio, inviting this deep and authentic connection to self and to partner that will result in greater sexual satisfaction. That vulnerability too, that's the thing your partner really wants to meet you without the wall up. And that's where there's more potential for connection. Ooh, porn. So if you're not partnered and you're meeting your own sexual needs on, I was going to say single-handedly, but you could be using two hands and tools, that if porn is involved, no porn shaming here at all. But with regard to the vulnerability, if you're watching porn, you're not connecting to yourself to some degree. You're like remote viewing this other, whatever it is that you're watching. If it's two men, two women, one man, one woman, several people, whatever combination of folks you're watching, including they, them, and those who don't want to identify at all. All right, no matter what you're watching on a screen, part of you is being like sent away to participate in that. And you're missing out on some of what you really are. So if you can, explore a practice of touching yourself, maybe not bringing yourself to orgasm in this way if it's not available to you, but touching yourself with so much love and allowing yourself to touch yourself wherever you want to experience pleasure. That's an invitation there for really getting into that vulnerability alone. And then otherwise, when you're connecting with your lover, it's getting into that vulnerability by just really being honest if your feelings were hurt, if you were really missing them this week, or if you really maybe even want to try something new, getting their consent for trying that. Also being open to their no, if the no is there. Okay? Okay, so the moon moves through Scorpio, passes over Venus in Scorpio, and then passes over Mercury, which may have some emotional conversation really going. This is why the encouragement for vulnerability and willingness to really be authentic. And then it's going to meet up with the sun, and there'll be a solar eclipse. It's a big deal. We'll talk more about that next week. But that's what's going on. It's really intense. Showing up, being vulnerable is really going to help get you through the tumultuous times that may be presenting themselves at the end of this week and this weekend. And perhaps that you've been experiencing all of 2020. We are at a bit of a culmination point. Thank you for watching. This got really long. Bye-bye.